Good morning. My name's Sean Robertson and I'm Sales Director of Sunseeker International. And we're here at a beautiful sunny day in Poole to take a good look at the stunning 52 Manhattan. Now, we're starting here today at the console and really to give you a great idea of just the scale of this yacht. And what really hits me here is I'm sat in the main helm and just how everything is falling to hand around me here in front. So on the console itself, we've got twin Simrad displays, separate displays for depth, separate displays for rudder and autopilot, an autopilot control here, and a fully adjustable helm wheel with this beautiful self-centering Sunseeker emblem in the middle. Real beautiful point of detail here. Cup holders, charging points, phone can go in here very easily. You've got ventilation on the screen itself for defrosting, depending where you're using the boat. But for most people, more importantly, if you're boating in the Med, is twin vents here that are adjustable for aircon. So you actually get some cool air blowing over. Aside from the ventilation, from forced ventilation, you also have an electric drop-down window, which is going to be great when you're running, fresh air coming in. And also, if you are helming from this lower station, that extra ability of being able to put your head through the window and see exactly if you're in close quarter manoeuvring of where a pontoon is, another boat is, or even talking if you've got people working on the deck. You've got bow and stern thruster here on the starboard side with the percentage hold. This is a great little function that if you are coming against the quayside with a wind that's blowing you off, you can set this to maybe just a gentle 10 or 15% thrust just to gently hold you against the quayside until you get your ropes set and you're all tied off safely. Obviously, main controls here, falling very nicely to hand, very comfortable. And behind that, we do have the Zenta joystick system as well. So this controls not only main engines, but combines the thrusters. So again, for certain clients who are maybe used to IPS or just want a more simplistic approach, using the joystick obviously combines all the functions of controls and thrusters to make it maybe a little bit easier for a new owner on the docking front. The biggest thing here, though, I would say is, for a 52-foot large Flybridge, she's a big volume boat, the visibility I've got from this helm is incredible. And I'm sat at a really good height. The seat is adjustable fore and aft. I've got great forward and port and starboard visibility. It makes a real difference when you're boating from this inner helm. So, coming out from the helm, I think where we'll go next is into what is probably the key feature of the interior of this yacht, and that is just the volume of space and light. We're on a 52-footer, not a 70-footer, just in case you're getting confused with this space. Look at the seating area. For 6-8 people, very, very accommodating. You've got great storage here in front of the seating, 2 massive lockers. Give you an idea, they're about 40-50 centimetres deep, each locker. The table here converts very easily, so it can be opened up if maybe you're dining or more people around it, more drinks, more food. So it makes a great space for seating. And opposite, you've got a secondary seating area, which even without its party trick, looks great. Good space for 2 or 3 people. But just look at this. With a push of a button, you can actually move the helm seats forward. Very, very easily done. And then quickly put into place 2 backrests. And suddenly, you've got almost a matching seating area on the opposite side of the yacht. What better place to sit at the end of the day and relax? It works exceptionally well and just unbelievable amount of space for your family and guests. And look at the height of these windows. They just let in so much light. It feels like you're at one with the outside in here, so works exceptionally well. Coming down, we've got a pop-up TV here on the starboard side. So again, push the button and up she comes. You know, works exceptionally well. And we'll put that back down again there. And again, the nice thing with that, with it not being fixed, is it doesn't take anything away from the glazing, you know, from the amount of natural light when you don't need the TV. Again, a great feature on the ceilings as you walk through is headroom, but also look at this LED strip lighting that runs through the yacht as well. It just accentuates the length of this saloon area, and it gives you the combination of just having strip lighting or spotlights on as well, really giving you different functions throughout the day. Works exceptionally well. So coming aft, we come down 2 small steps into what is it's quite an amazing size galley cum servery area in the aft end of this saloon. On the starboard side, we've got an AV cupboard, ice maker, and large wine cooler. So refrigeration is never going to be a problem, particularly when you then have the refrigerator itself and freezer above here. These handles as well are just a work of art. There's something you expect to find on a 100-footer. Makes a real difference. Little details make a huge difference. And obviously this top surface in a beautiful stone finish is a great servery area. So maybe you lay out breakfast or evening meal can be all laid out here, so works exceptionally well. And then the galley itself, I mean, it's quite strange because it's actually very well laid out, very easy to get to everything, and yet because of the colours of the wood, the materials, it almost blends in with the rest of the saloon area. And again, great facilities. Hob, oven, dishwasher, storage all the way around on the galley at the lower level, as well at the top level here as well. And a bin over in the port aft corner here. But this then leads us on to what is probably the best feature on this yacht and makes an incredible difference. So let's just watch this. We open up the personnel door, if you want, the normal door that you'd access from the cockpit. Pull one button here, and this door then bifolds out. Great, look at this, the space coming through, but it doesn't end there. Push a button here. This part of the door then drops down, and suddenly you've converted what is a beautiful interior space into a entertainment area that flows seamlessly all the way through to the aft cockpit. To be honest, it has more of a feel of a Predator than a Flybridge now at this point. A flush floor, but with a drainage gully here to ensure no water comes through. A countertop that folds out here with 2 bar stools. So now suddenly you've got a bar area feeding into that galley. Again, a great place to sit. Protected from the wind, but semi-inside, semi-outside. And it works exceptionally well. And links, obviously then, with your aft cockpit seating. Again, easy seating here for 4 or 5 people. A table, again, that extends out. So if you do want to dine here, or maybe for breakfast in the mornings, fold the table out. Again, a great space. And you could add a couple of director's chairs here to increase that seating capacity. Your main engine room access is here through a great hatch in the floor, and it's easy access down straight between the engines to get to main maintenance points. So that works very well. So coming round the cockpit, good floor space, the teak cockpit floor. We come back and we can access down to the bathing platform. You've got these lift and lock safety gates on port and starboard side to keep everybody safe when you're underway. Very easy to use, and again a nice little feature. So mooring arrangement, be it Med or here in Northern Europe where you're coming alongside, this is key. And what you'll see here is you've got a great sized aft bollard, a spring bollard for cross springs if you're Med mooring, but also what we've looked at is having another aft cleat which is more suited if you're coming alongside a pontoon. So very much more easy to access from a pontoon. So the mooring arrangements works wherever you're boating, really. Good size fair lead, nice and solid. And obviously if you're med mooring, another key is this aft windlass, where once your bow line's attached, get your stern lines up and on, and then by using the foot switch here, you can use the aft windlass and tighten up those stern lines and get her into position. And another little great detail, I love this, is once you finish with the line, you drop the tail into the locker, close the lid, and everything's neat and tidy in what is an entertainment space, let's face it, in the aft cockpit. So all of that works very well. LED lighting all the way through the cockpit at floor level. And then we come down 3 steps onto the aft deck. And we'll start on this side. So firstly, again, not belying the size of the boat, you've got a great access into a cruise space, storage area, extra kids cabin. You've got a washer dryer in there, single bunk and ensuite facilities. And you'll notice how the door works is particularly for a family run boat. If the kids are using this cabin maybe as a play area or a storage area, that it opens from the bottom so that when you are in harbour, you've got a degree of privacy into that cabin, but you're allowing the ventilation in. So works very, very well. As normal with most of the Sunseeker range, I'm now stood on the blading platform, which is obviously fully hydraulic. So this drops to about knee-high underwater, the push of a button, and obviously makes launching your tender exceptionally easy. But not only that, is once it's down at that water level, you can sit here, feet in the water, lower it a bit more, and you can swim straight on and off the platform, which just works so well. It's a real feature that everybody needs to have this, particularly when you're boating in the Med. You have got a bathing ladder under this hatch here on the port side, so if the platform is up, you've still got a way in and out of the water. And then we'll come to what is actually an award-winning beach club. We set this up on this model, on the 52 Manhattan First, and it's with a fold-down seat, so you've got a beautiful seating area here. You imagine with the bathing platform down, feet in the water, it works just brilliantly, watching everybody enjoy the water space as you sip your glass of wine. Above that, once the seat's folded away, you've then maybe got a barbecue area. And why this works so well is being on the stern, away from the seating spaces, that if you are grilling, it keeps all the smell and mess away from everybody. And normally if you're at anchor, the breeze will be taking those nasty smells away off the boat. You've got lighting above this, so if you're using this later in the day, it is lit, which works very well. And then the last piece of the beach club is this extra locker here. Now, first look, it just looks like a nice deep storage locker, but what it actually hides away then is a nice hidden shower. So you come out of the water, pull the control here, and you've got a great freshwater shower. And it's just much easier to use than pulling a little shower head out of a plastic socket on the side. So another great feature, and doubles as storage as well. Finally, on the starboard side, you'll notice you've got the fully hydraulic passerelle that comes out and extends just over 1 metre past the end of the bathing platform, and then a hidden locker underneath where your shore services. So it will be shore power, shore water supply, all tucks in nicely behind that door, so it's not scattering wires and pipes across the deck. So that gives us a good look at the aft end of the yacht. Let's go forward now and have a good look at the bow. So coming back up through the cockpit here, you've got 2 walkways to the bow, which, great size, very safe. So let's carry on up to the bow on the starboard side here. So first thing you notice, the rail lends itself right to hand, and it increases in height immediately. So it's very, very easy walking down this side deck. Here I'm only, a third of the way along, and already you see how high that rail is, giving you a great deal of security. Before we go further forward, I'll just mention here again, the outside design of all the superstructure now is dropped down to match the glazing. So you'll see here the height of this glazing, which is probably about 1.5 meters, and it's matched to the coaming being cut down. That's why you get those great views from inside out, and it lets so much light through the boat. So coming forward, midships cleat here, LED lighting all the way through. As we mentioned earlier, there's the window straight through to the helm. And look at the height of the rail now. You feel really inside the boat rather than on it once you get to this point. So the bow, what can I say? I mean, it just works in so many different ways. So we've left it sort of functioned here as a raised sunbed on this starboard side, but obviously that backrest drops up and down. The same on the port side. With it down, you've got more of a seating area with a large table. With the backrest up, you've got a great sunbathing area. The table obviously raises and lowers and can be infilled to give you even a bigger sunbathing space. You've got a zoned audio system with 2 speakers let in here. Storage underneath these lockers. And then you've actually here in the floor got the glazed panels down into the forward cabin that we'll see later. And again, no worries, you can walk on this. There's no worries with that breaking. So again, probably not coming out in the camera, the scale of this bow for a 52 footer, when you think of the interior volume that we've already seen, it's just incredible. It works exceptionally well. So down forward here, so electric anchor windlass, and another nice little feature that I want to show you here is the devil's claw on holding the anchor chain in. This is something that's simple to use but very secure when you're running. You know, once the anchor's up, clip that on, very easy to tighten up, and the anchor's really secure. When you're using the windlass, you've got 2 foot controls here, up and down, and again, using those, leaning over the front to what's actually going on with the anchor, very, very simple. And of course, remember, you've always got a secondary control at the main helm. Anchor locker, really oversized. I mean, we've got 60 meters of chain in there, and it's hidden away at the bottom. So again, a great space for quick storage for your fenders that are more up on the bow area. And you've got the little handle there, just tie off the line so you're not reaching down in the locker to retrieve fenders when you need them again. Wash down point. So again, end of the day, plug in the hose, very easy. You've only got a short length of hose then to use for this bow area. And you've got 2, again, I say they're oversized bollards here forward that for med anchoring in particular are extremely useful. I mean, they're right on that bow area, very easy to access. And if you do need to use the warping drum to tighten up, it's a direct run. So very, very easy to use. So great bow area, very easy to access. But let's now go back and up to the Flybridge, which probably is the main entertainment space or exterior entertainment space on this yacht. So coming up to the Flybridge, again, great staircase, great size steps, handholds in the right place, and also a key to mention is this hatch here, which not only stops any water going down through, but obviously once closed acts as a bit of a security. When you're running, particularly, somebody could accidentally step that way, you've got the hatch in the way, plus a great guardrail around it. So very, very, very secure, particularly if you've got younger guests on board. So coming aft, seating space. Again, it just, I mean, you could seat 8 to 10 people around this quite easily. I mean, incredible amount of seating, and this is just the aft end. On top of that, beautiful teak table that expands. So whether you're drinking, dining, works exceptionally well. Folds out very nice, very easily there. And you've now got a full dining area. Again, maybe with a couple of extra director's chairs on this side, you could dine 8 to 10 people quite easily. Obviously, it's a sunny day here today. Very unusual in pool, but it is. But if you're in the Med or out on here on a beautiful day, pulling up the bimini would then give you the shade that you want over this area if required during the day. So we'll fold that back in, quickly show you, you've got storage under all of this seating around the U. So great amount of storage, very, very, it's what everybody needs on a yacht. You carry so much equipment with you, it's great to have that ability to store it away neatly. And you'll see on this side, we actually have an open storage area. Now this could work for director's chairs, as we said, could work well for a life raft. So it's, again, a bit more usability by keeping the front open. We've got speakers built into the mouldings here, both fore and aft on the bridge. Again, it's zoned, so you can control this separately from the other areas on the yacht. So maybe you want music downstairs, you want radio up here, whatever you want, it's very easy to control the different zones. We've got a wet bar sort of separating the fore and aft areas of the cockpit. Again, lid lifts up here. You just feel the weight of that lid just makes it feel so substantial and beautifully molded, polished, finished inside, not just an open molding. And again here, a cool box with actually a ventilator cooling plate inside and an insulated top. So fill that with ice. That will stay all day with that unit running and keep the drinks cold as you need them. So we'll drop those lids back down. Something here just before we move forward is you'll see that this boat does have the teak floor option all the way through. It just brings the richness up, the feeling of under your feet as well. It just feels much nicer than the plain white stippled gel coat finish. You'll notice as well, as we move forward, you've got the lighting all the way around this Flybridge area. So again, very nice to use on a balmy evening with that low level lighting on. So we'll come forward now to the second helm, as it is, but which most people will use probably as the main helm. And the first thing I want to show you is these beautiful quilted finished helm seats. They look more like they should be on a sports boat, not on a 52-foot Flybridge. They're adjustable fore and aft and up and down in height. And if we pop into this seat here, you'll see just, what a great position it is. I mean, the visibility that I've got down the side of the hull, the bow, and actually now all the way through to the stern platform is quite incredible. So for docking, brilliant position. When I'm running, I might want to be sat, or I lift that squab up and I've actually got again, more of a open predator style position with sat on the bolster here. The wheel is just perfect. I mean, what a great helm position. Fully adjustable, pushing the button there, so the angle that suits. The controls are right at hand. Again, as we talked about downstairs, bow and stern thruster controls, and joystick, the Zenta joystick here for when you're docking and coming in through the marina. Same thing with the Simrad screen setup, autopilot controls, depth and speed, so everything right there ready to go. Works really, really well. And obviously, benefit for your passengers sat right there. One little feature here as well is you've actually got a pull-up wind deflector. Now it doesn't look a lot, but when you're in the seated position, that will just take a lot of that wind up and over you when you're in this seated position. Again, little details but make a huge difference when you're actually running the boat. Now, opposite the helm, again, a huge seating space, storage under two of these lockers. And again, look at the space. I mean, we've got 8 or 10 people sat aft. Here, it easily accommodating 3 or 4 more, if not more than that. And then my favourite position on the yacht is, I think I'd have the captain running, and here you've got probably the best position, whether you're sat at anchor or running, with the deflection of that screen taking the wind over you. I mean, there can't be a better place to be sat on this boat. Works really, really well. And obviously more sunbathing space to that port side. I mean, this Flybridge, to be honest, you would expect to be more on a 70-foot yacht. It's just incredible space. Really blows me away, the space and the detail that's been put into this Flybridge area. If you couple that together with the platform, the aft cockpit, seamless through to the saloon and the bow, I mean, wow. I mean, what a boat. What a boat to entertain your family and friends. With that, let's lift this hatch back up and we'll go back downstairs to the aft cockpit and meet up with Chris Head, the sales director of Sunseeker London Group. So Chris, we've had a great walk through the interior volume, the outside spaces. I mean, it's a great spec on this boat. So, I mean, you guys have really spec this ready for a Mediterranean or UK market, right?
Yes, exactly. I think the colours, everybody would like it. Silver with the silver oak wood. It still feels very light. I mean, the space in there is incredible for a 52. I was actually in a marina a couple of weeks ago, and we were actually moored next to a 50-foot, another brand, a Flybridge boat, and really, well, this felt like the 60-foot boat. Just taking the lines of it from the finger pontoon, I have to stand there like this. On the other boat, I could have done it like this. It is a big volume boat, it really is.
Well, the good thing with this though, I mean, we've maintained that, you know, heritage hull, that deep V hull, and obviously she's fitted with the D11 Volvos on shaft drive. And you think that's probably most popular for this style of boat?
Well, you know, you can have IPS on the boat, but I think we probably, I don't know, you would probably know total figures for the world, but we're probably 9-to-1 shafts. I still think shafts the preferred route. Also on a Flybridge boat, I think it behaves better when you're driving a boat with a shaft drive in it. It's got more weight. It just feels more solid. But also this has got the Zenta docking controls, which is the best of both worlds. If you could, 5-10 years ago, the reason why people were pushing IPS is for the easy drive. This has the best of both worlds. And when we're doing a handover, where we'd spend a couple of days with somebody before they get reversing, making the boat go this way, making the boat go this way. It was a day, 2 days to get them really into their head what I have to do with the controls. Now, within 30 minutes of playing with that docking control, they're driving the boat. I'm not saying they're an expert within 30 minutes, and our handover still lasts a few days. But yeah, you know me, Sean, I love shaft drive boats.
And again, I mean, the shaft drive on this boat, with the Volvo 725s, I mean, still gives it great performance. So we're still around the 30 knot mark. That's in the Med, with a loaded boat. And fuel consumption wise, you hopefully should see in the video now, we've put the fuel charts up. So it gives you a good idea on the range and consumption when you're running. And I agree with Chris. I mean, I've run this boat myself. She tracks exceptionally well. Those tunnels, shaft drive, I mean, almost you're going to set your speed, push the pilot button and sit there, whether it's flat, calm or rough. She just goes on through it without touching the controls. So works exceptionally well.
Sean, look, I boat as a family. And if you ask my wife, which boat would she buy? In all the range of Sunseeker, she would buy the 52. For our type of boating, a family of 4 to 5 of us, yes, we love the big yachts. Yes, we love the small yachts. Yes, we love sailing boats. We love it all. But a 52, I think, value for money, it does everything really a 60 or 70 foot boat does. Okay, the fourth cabin you don't get.
So somebody interested in this particular boat, Chris, the spec, as I said earlier, all the way through, you've ticked all the boxes in terms of, the entertainment, in terms of systems, engine packages, thrusters, etc. But what else would a client need to add to the boat to get it delivered?
Just say I was buying this boat with a family. I'd want the tender, obviously. We recommend Williams, 325, 345 Williams tender. I'd probably put Apple TV on for, £100 odd, which now, you can get your Netflix, you can get films and whatever, and storage and download your movies. I wouldn't bother with satellite TV today on a boat of this size. And then it's really your private belongings, which are like your bedding, cookware, like kitting out a small apartment really. Putting a name on the back, but I'm sure we could throw that in the deal, and a bit more. But no, there's not many extras you would want to go out and think, I bought this yacht and it didn't have this. It's a great spec.
And I think we've seen that as we've walked through. I mean, it's exceptionally well spec'd. We've had a great look round, the saloon, the exterior spaces. But Chris, before we finish up with you, I think we're now just going to go and take a look downstairs through the cabins. which are important as well if you're doing some extended cruising. And then maybe we can come back and do a bit of a summary with you about what Sunseeker London Group can offer on this particular boat. Okay, so let's come on down to this lobby area. First thing is, great handhold. Really, really nice and solid, very safe. You come down to this lobby, which, you know, often on boats, the lobbies are important because they give a feeling of space, but often they take up more space than the cabins themselves. This is compact, but a beautiful amount of light because the screens are over the top. Hidden lighting here, which lights it up during the evening. And such a small space, but it feels so open. Very, very cleverly done. All the way through the yacht again, you've got access hatches down to service items in the bilge, which are hidden in the carpet here. Again, great feature. It's so simple, but saves you pulling carpets up and an underlay up to access down into the bilge areas. Now here we're into the third cabin. The headroom is incredible. For what is the smallest cabin on the boat. 2 great sized bunks, windows even in here with an opening port again if you don't want the aircon running during the day because of that opening saloon area. Every cabin, every area has got opening port lights. Big, big bonus. Overhead storage here, wardrobe, again, great space for extended cruising, audio visual with TV, built-in speaker system, flexible reading lights. There's storage everywhere, even a little storage drawer underneath the bedside cabinet there. Really, really well thought out, and you wouldn't be the poor relation staying in this cabin for sure. And the colours, we'll get into it in the other cabins, but they're neutral, but they're warm. It really is going to be an easy boat to dress for a client to give their personal thumbprint on it. It's very, very cleverly done. So coming back out into the companionway, we'll now go into the second cabin, the VIP cabin. And again, just first thing that hits you is we're right in the bow of the boat now. We're in the most difficult place to make a cabin work because of the V, of the hull sides, of the hull bottom, of the coach roof. And yet look at the space. Look at the headroom here. And even right at the front of the bed, you've got a width and a feature bulkhead again. Lots of light from an opening deck hatch, fixed glazing that we saw earlier from the foredeck. 2 large port and starboard fixed glazed panels, but again with the opening port lights to get that airflow through. Clever little things. So rather than having a sloping hull side to maximise the space, we've boxed it off with a footstep. So again, getting into that bed, exceptionally easy, and actually better than having more floor space but on an angle. Little details that make a huge difference. You've got a great size wardrobe here on the port side. Again, big storage locker with mirror on the starboard side and a vanity area here with a separate stool that's actually not in there at the moment, but there will be a separate stool there. Again, under the bed, no pulling the mattress up to gain access to storage. You've got 2 nice sized drawers here, very easy to use. So if I just close this a minute, make it easier. TV on the aft bulkhead, great visibility from the bed. And then the ensuite itself. Now this is with Jack and Jill doors, so you've got access from the companionway, for the third cabin or as a day head during the day for your guests and family. But what a great size ensuite. Oversized shower that steps down in, so you've got great headroom, opening port light and huge window again, so the natural light coming in is great. And again, mirrored storage on the forward bulkhead and the aircon outlet. We talked about this on one of our other videos yesterday, that when you're using the bathrooms, the whole boat's aircon, you suddenly go into a heated bathroom. Not nice at the end of the day when you want to cool down. So you've got a closable vent for the aircon inside that ensuite. So we've seen the third and the second cabins. Let's now go back down through the companionway and into what is the master. Now there are steps, but what I'd like to say for a 50-footer is you haven't got these masses of level changes to try and gain the space. It's been very well thought out, so you're not constantly worrying about coming down another step. So first of all, when you come into this master cabin, first thing that hits you is the way a pocket door has been used for the ensuite rather than a traditional hinge door. What that does is means we haven't got to lose space in the companionway, and you've got a great size ensuite. Shower is massive. Mirrored storage again, opening port, just a really nice space to use, and even, you know, to help get ready. You know, it's not just an ensuite space, it's complementary to the rest of the cabin. We'll close that across again there, and then come on down through into the main cabin itself. Now, I'm going to mention this, but the carpet with the underlay and the solidity of the floors underneath, it's a very unusual feeling. Now, normally when you walk through a boat of any size, whether it's a yacht or at a smaller sports cruiser end, you feel some movement. You feel some movement in the floor. Sometimes you even get some noise from the floor as you walk. Here, it's completely silent. The carpet's fitted beautifully with the underlay, makes it more feel like you're walking in an apartment rather than a yacht. So, again, floor space, look at this. I mean, this is a full walk-around space around the bed without a level change. Stunning headroom, queen-size bed, storage everywhere, under-bed storage, bedside cabinets. Look at this unit here again, 2 large storage units and 3 drawers, and another locker even up here on the starboard side. The windows, I mean, they're the full length of the cabin, probably 60 centimetres, 70 centimetres in height, and again, 2 large opening port lights. I mean, I think we've said this all the way through this tour, but this feels like a cabin off of a 65, 70 footer. It's an incredible space, and you don't feel confined in it in any way. Really, really well thought out. On the port side, we've got the breakfast area again, the seating area. Now, I mean, this works well. You're going to have your morning coffee, you're getting ready in the evening with a glass of wine, just relaxing, somewhere to lay clothes out on. It works very well, very practical, and you've got that view straight out the window to the water beyond. Again, stunning. Just material choice, decoration, feature bulkhead, little details like the flexible reading lights and overhead lights, different spotlights and hidden lighting all the way around this master cabin make it a great space to be in, and not just somewhere you come to sleep. It's just a very usable space on the yacht. With that, let's come back upstairs to the aft cockpit again and have a final summary with Chris Head about what Sunseeker London Group can offer you. So Chris, we've had a great walkthrough. I mean, she's an incredible boat. I mean, the space, the feeling of space. I mean, the master cabin, I think, feels like you're on a 65, 70 footer. I mean, it's just, you forget when we're working with these all day long how well laid out this boat is. I mean, it really does work well. So we've talked about the boat, we've walked through it. So Sunseeker London Group is obviously a large group. So just tell us some more about what they can offer, where they are, you know, what you can do.
Well, a Sunseeker London Group, what are we? We're the distributor, main distributor for Sunseeker boats. We have offices from the UK, all over Europe. I believe it's 40 offices that we run. So buying a yacht from us of any size, the good thing about it, there's no politics when you're cruising down, walking into another office, asking for service, asking for help with a berth, whatever they want. It should be a seamless service throughout Europe. Where years ago there was one dealer here which was very good, the next dealer may not been as good, he may have not had a good team of engineers. What we try to do is we try to have one level of service, and throughout Europe, you know, you should walk in, whatever problem you have, we should be able to sort.
So Chris, that's great. I mean, that's a seamless, you know, really opportunity for a client from here in the UK all the way through the key areas in the Med. You cover them under one umbrella, really, one company.
And the Adriatic.
And the Adriatic, yeah. So in terms of, though, other things a client might want? So finance, insurance, shipping, all of that you guys can organise?
It's everything, Sean. We come on to what we do, but I believe there's a lot of clients who can afford a boat, but may be worried, what do I do? How do I own a boat? You know, it is a daunting exercise when you think, what do I do? Do I pay the money? Am I left alone? With us, it's a one-stop shop. So, you know, in fact, we love selling a client a boat who's never had a boat before and seeing him through start to finish. So where do you start? You would meet one of the sales team at one of our offices or at the shipyard where we are now, which is a fantastic experience and truly hand-built product. You would agree a deal with a salesman, obviously then pay for the boat, name the boat. We help with registration, we help with the finance. You know, we are dealing with 3 or 4 banks in the UK, Lombard, Close Brothers, CGI. They're all first-class lenders. Their interest rates are very similar, but again, it's a personal service. They would meet the banker and discuss the way they would like to buy the boat, deposits, the terms, the years, and so on. Then kitting the boat out, from putting the name on the boat, supplying the tender, launching the boat. Handover is a very important part of it. You know, with buying a boat from Sunseeker London, I never, ever, ever shortchange a person on handover. If you think about it, you know, just to give your keys, there you go, you've paid your 1 million, 1.2, whatever it is, take your boat away. I'd rather put one of my guys, one of my engineers, and some of my engineers are captains as well, have a few days with them. And I often say to a client, do you want him to stay for a week? Let me know and I can book that into the schedule. It's really buying the boat, it's from start to finish. And you know, look, you know, our clients own expensive cars. They probably deal with that salesman, buy the car. Once it needs servicing, they deal with the service department. With us, usually they would stay in touch with the salesman who sold them the boat, whether it's arranging a berth. If they want to go to the Grand Prix, the Monaco Grand Prix, they want a berth there. It's service, warranty, support. We become a friend of the client.
Yeah. So it's a large group, but a very personal service.
Yeah, personal service. You know, you can get to the team 7 days a week. They're on call. They can test it now if you think, and try the number, and one of my team will answer the phone.
So we've had a great walkthrough. I've done the easy bit. I mean, walking through this yacht and explaining all the features is easy. So now the harder bit, someone's interested, they've watched the video, so they make contact and you will deal with them directly. How does that work?
Well, my number's on here because I couldn't put down 50 of my sales team numbers on, but obviously if they phone me, I learn where they boat and I'd put them in touch with the right salesman to look after them. If they're not interested in this actual boat, they want to talk about boating, they wanted a bit of advice, because sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. Lots of times it does, it happens on the day. It surprises me, a person walks onto a boat show stand, we've never met the client before, we meet them in the morning and they come back and say, Chris, we're ready to sign. But yes, you know, contact one of the offices, choose your boating location, deal with that office, or give me a buzz and I'll put you in touch with the right person.
Well look, thank you guys for watching this video. You've heard it from Chris there, how to make contact. I hope you've enjoyed the look through. And like Chris said, if you're interested in this particular boat or any of the Sunseeker range, make contact and we'll do our very best to help you where we can. Thank you.